All right, welcome back. It's time for what we like to call Free Therapy Wednesday. Every week we look forward to checking with our friend, Hartford Healthcare Institute of Living psychologist, Dr. Laura Saunders. This is where we get our midweek mental health boost, and this one's especially for parents.
Yeah, today's topic is something that all the parents out there are going to want to hear about. We are talking about 7 protective factors that promote children's resilience. How are you, Doc?
I am well. Happy Wednesday. And I'm just going to share that I actually like plain vanilla soft serve.
You do.
So, go figure.
I'm a twist gal with the hot fudge on
So
top.
creamy.
Yeah. Hey, you know, we got to do what we love. In fact, that's one of your first points. Presence of a loving and supportive adult. Even if you do something like just have some ice cream at home. It doesn't have to be fancy, but that is a huge, that matters a lot for creating a resilient, emotionally mature human later on, right?
Right. There's lots of research on resiliency. And this is like a thing that I'm really kind of focused on these days. I mean, it really comes in line with, the book, The Anxious Child, The Anxious Generation. So we're really trying to promote grit and resiliency. And so one of the things is that there needs to be a supportive, loving adult. It doesn't have to be a parent. It could be a grandparent or a coach or a teacher, but there needs to be a supportive, loving, caring person. The second one is positive self-perceptions. You have to begin at some point to internalize that there's good inside of you, that you're a good person. How you think about yourself, your skills, and your capabilities are very important.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, and when we're talking about like setbacks and how we handle that, we got to figure out how to self-regulate.
Right. So self-regulation skills, the ability to manage and monitor your emotions. If a stressor or a barrier or something comes your way, do you fly off the handle and then unravel for days, or do you learn over time to manage it? So self-regulation skills are absolutely important.
You talk about this approach called scaffolding. Can you extrapolate a little bit on that?
Yes. So scaffolding is where literally there are layers of people and things. So it's about connection to faith and culture is another protective factor. And you don't have to have a faith community, but faith communities can be very, very protective. But a connection to your culture, and that can be your community, right? I'm always talking about the importance of connecting to community events and town libraries and things like that. It's that feeling of connection to something greater and outside of yourself.
Yeah, and that's the number 4 thing that we can give our kids, connection to faith and culture. So when we do that, again, that doesn't cost a lot of money. That could be whatever you like to do, your tradition of going to church on Sunday or your tradition of celebrating your culture with certain kinds of foods. Number 5, parenting competencies. And I think we suffer in this generation of constantly thinking we're not a good enough parent. And I love that you always say we only need to be a good enough parent, not a perfect parent. But how competent do we need to be?
Right. We do need to be a good enough parent. That is the kind of the rubric. But it really is. It's about being responsive to your child's needs. Gone are the days where it's like, just suck it up, you'll get over it. Right. And I'm not talking about coddling either. I'm talking about something in between. Being responsive to a child's needs, helping them learn to express themselves emotionally, expressing emotional warmth to your children, providing support, building that strong parent-child bond, because that's where a lot of communication happens and a lot of information and observation. Children learn from what you do, not necessarily what you say.
And I love this next one, mother's well-being. Kara, this is something we talk about all the time. I mean, we have to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves in order for us to take care of everyone else.
Yes. And while, it is easier to have 2 parents than one, very often, certainly in this culture, a lot of the parenting and caretaking falls on the mother. And it is very, very important that parents, and mothers in particular, take care of themselves, because you cannot be a good caregiver if you don't take care of yourself as well.
Yeah, so important that even if we just take those moments, and it's really hard to rest, to, eat, all those things, so that
shower,
we can do the things that we need to do. So that number 7 is a positive school environment. And this one I feel like we have a little less control over. What do you mean by this?
So a positive school environment, the educational setting is so important for the access to information and resources that our young people get. That's why school budgets take up the majority of a town's, of a town's resources, because the school environment is so important, and people, need to be careful about the communities that they're selecting to live in, because that school and that school culture really is very, very critical to overall resiliency and providing access to good resources.
Well, these are great resources, and thank you so much. You are an amazing resource for all of us parents out there who are making it happen one way or another.
Parenting's the hardest job, and we're doing the best we can.
Absolutely. We're going to take a deeper dive. I encourage everyone to listen and subscribe to the Kara's Cares podcast, where Dr. Laura Saunders is a regular guest helping us with our mental health and parenting. So we'll have that up just a little bit from now. So tune into that as well. Thanks, Dr. Laura Saunders.
Thanks, Doc.
Have a great day.
You too. Coming up.